Walk into a room and something shifts. Not because you announced yourself, not because you demanded attention, but because your presence alone commanded it. There's a person in your life right now who never raises their voice, never argues, never explains themselves, yet everyone listens when they speak. Everyone considers their opinion. Everyone thinks twice before crossing them. What do they have that you don't? It's not charisma. It's not looks. It's not even intelligence. It's something far more powerful: silent authority. While you've been taught to speak up, prove yourself, and explain your worth, they've mastered something ancient: the ability to communicate power without uttering a single word. Today, I'm going to reveal the precise psychological mechanisms that create this effect. Not theory, not motivation, but the actual behavioral patterns that make certain people magnetically commanding while others fade into the background. By the end of this, you'll understand why your words might be weakening you, how silence creates gravitational pull, and the exact adjustments that transform you from someone who seeks respect to someone who naturally receives it. Drop this affirmation in the comments: I command space. The language your body actually speaks. Every second you exist in social space, your body is broadcasting signals. Most people have no idea what they're transmitting, and that ignorance costs them everything. When you enter a room, do you make yourself smaller? Do you apologize for taking up space with your posture? Do your eyes dart around seeking approval? These aren't just nervous habits. They're advertisements of your internal state, and everyone around you is reading them fluently. Research in nonverbal communication shows that 55% of interpersonal communication is body language, 38% is tone, and only 7% is the actual words spoken. Yet most people spend 100% of their energy on what to say and 0 on how they occupy space. Here's what's happening. When you walk with your shoulders slightly forward, head down, taking quick steps, you're signaling subordination. You're broadcasting that you expect to be dismissed. When you constantly shift your weight, fidget, or maintain closed body posture, you're communicating anxiety. You're showing everyone that you're uncomfortable with your own presence. When your eyes seek validation from others before you speak, you're surrendering authority before the interaction even begins. The respected person does none of this. Their body language follows different principles entirely. They move deliberately. Not rushed, not slow, purposeful. Each movement has intention behind it. When they walk, they're going somewhere specific. When they sit, they've chosen that position. There's no apologetic quality to their physical presence. They claim space appropriately. Not aggressively sprawling, but not shrinking either. They sit back in chairs. They stand with feet shoulder-width apart. They gesture when speaking but don't flail. Their body says, I belong here. Their eye contact is steady but not hostile. They look at people when speaking and listening, not staring them down, not glancing away nervously, just present. This alone communicates confidence more than any words could. Start noticing your own patterns. When you're about to enter a room, do you hesitate at the threshold? That hesitation is visible and it's costing you. When someone speaks to you, do you immediately react, physically lean in, nod eagerly, show you're listening? That's approval-seeking behavior. The person who commands respect listens without excessive reaction. They might give one slow nod to show understanding, but they don't perform attentiveness. Why? Because they're actually listening, not worrying about appearing to listen. The strategic use of stillness. Nervous energy is respect repellent. Watch people in any professional or social setting. The ones constantly fidgeting, adjusting their clothes, touching their face, shifting position, they're advertising their discomfort. Stillness, by contrast, is magnetic. When you can sit completely still, present and attentive but not performing, something powerful happens. People become aware of you. Your stillness creates a contrast against everyone else's nervous movement. But this isn't about freezing or becoming robotic. It's about eliminating unnecessary movement. Every gesture should have purpose. When you reach for something, the movement is clean and direct. When you shift position, it's because you're choosing a new posture, not because you're uncomfortable. When you use your hands while speaking, each gesture emphasizes a point. This level of physical control signals emotional control. And emotional control is the foundation of perceived power. Think about the most respected person in your workplace or social circle. Watch how they move. I'd wager they move less than most people, but when they do move, it matters. The eyes that hold power, eye contact, is the most direct form of nonverbal communication, and most people get it completely wrong. Too little eye contact signals weakness, insecurity, or dishonesty. Too much becomes aggressive or uncomfortable. The balance point is where respect lives. Here's the framework. When someone is speaking to you, maintain steady eye contact. Not an unblinking stare. Natural blinks are fine, but your attention should be visibly focused on them. This shows respect and confidence simultaneously. When you're speaking, maintain eye contact, but allow natural breaks to look away as you think or emphasize points. This prevents the interaction from becoming a staring contest while still maintaining engagement. The key distinction: your eye contact should feel like attention, not intimidation. When someone is trying to dominate you verbally, never look away first during a pause. Hold the gaze calmly. This single behavior shifts power dynamics more than any verbal response could. When someone lies to you or tests you, maintain steady eye contact and say nothing. The timing of your responses. Respect isn't built on what you say, it's built on when you say it. The person who jumps to respond to every comment appears eager to please. The person who considers before speaking appears thoughtful and authoritative. Practice the 3-second rule. When someone asks you a question or makes a statement, pause 3 seconds before responding. Not obviously counting, just taking a moment to consider. This does 3 things. 1. It shows you're actually thinking about what they said, rather than waiting for your turn to talk. 2. It prevents you from saying something reactive or poorly considered. 3. It creates weight around your words. When you do speak, people pay attention. Most people fear silence in conversation. They rush to fill every gap, terrified of awkwardness. But that fear makes them forgettable. The respected person is comfortable with silence. When a conversation reaches a natural pause, they don't panic and start talking. They let the silence exist. Often the other person will fill it with something revealing. This isn't manipulation, it's patience. And patience is mistaken for wisdom more often than actual wisdom is recognized. The posture of authority: stand like you own space. Not arrogantly, but certainly. The components: feet, shoulder width apart, weight distributed evenly. This is stable and grounded. Compare this to feet close together, appears timid, or constantly shifting weight, appears nervous. Spine, straight but not rigid. Imagine a string pulling gently from the crown of your head. This elongates your posture without tension. Shoulders back and down, not hunched forward. This opens your chest and projects confidence. Rounded shoulders signal defeat or exhaustion. Hands. When standing, let them rest naturally at your sides or hold them loosely behind your back. Avoid pockets. Appears too casual or hiding. Crossing arms, defensive or fidgeting. Head level, chin parallel to ground. Not chin up or down. Your head position frames every facial expression and eye contact. This posture should become your default. Not something you remember to do when it matters, but how you naturally exist in space. When you sit, apply the same principles. Sit back in the chair, spine straight, taking up appropriate space. Don't perch on the edge unless you're about to leave. Don't slouch unless you're intentionally signaling informality with specific people. Your physical presence should communicate: I'm here, I'm present, I'm worth your attention. The power of selective reaction. Here's where most people destroy their respect. They react to everything. Someone makes a joke at their expense, they defend themselves. Someone shares news, they immediately show excitement or concern. Someone tests them, they prove themselves. Every reaction is a small surrender of power. The respected person is selectively reactive. They choose what deserves their emotional response and what doesn't. This means when someone tries to provoke you, your face remains neutral. You might acknowledge what they said with a single word or slight nod, but you don't give them the reaction they're fishing for. When someone shares information, you process it before responding emotionally. Your face shows consideration rather than immediate reaction. When someone tests you with a subtle insult or challenge, you might show the slightest hint of amusement, a micro-expression that says, "I see what you're doing," but you don't engage with the bait. This doesn't mean being emotionless. It means your emotions are yours to display strategically, not reflexes that anyone can trigger. The person who can hear criticism without their face showing hurt, who can receive praise without showing desperate gratitude, who can face challenges without showing fear, that person commands respect because they demonstrate emotional sovereignty. The subtle art of physical boundaries. Respect lives in the space between people. When someone stands too close, invading your personal space, most people step back. This is a mistake. Stepping back signals that they successfully dominated you. Instead, hold your ground. Don't move back, don't move forward. Maintain your position. If necessary, create more space by turning slightly or adjusting your angle, but don't retreat. This applies to all physical interactions. When someone tries to guide you physically, a hand on your shoulder to steer you somewhere, you can allow it if appropriate, but you're making that choice. If it's unwelcome, a simple step away while maintaining eye contact sets the boundary without words. Physical boundaries extend to your belongings and space. When someone casually uses your things without asking, reaches across you, or enters your workspace uninvited, these are boundary tests. The respected person notices these moments and responds, not with anger or confrontation, but with clear adjustment. They move the item back. They step in the way. They establish that their space has boundaries worth respecting. The strategic investment of energy respect flows toward people who appear to have something valuable to protect. When you're accessible to everyone, available for anything, willing to help with everything, you signal that your time has no particular value. This is counterintuitive because we're taught that generosity builds respect. But indiscriminate generosity builds familiarity, not respect. The respected person is helpful but selectively so. They're generous with people who've demonstrated reciprocity. They invest time in projects that matter. They're present for important moments, but not every moment. This selectivity communicates value. It says, my time matters, my energy matters. I invest it where it creates meaningful impact. Without saying a word, your pattern of availability teaches people how to value you. Always available. Low value. Selectively available. High value. This doesn't mean being aloof or playing games. It means having genuine priorities and protecting them. When someone asks for your time, you consider whether it aligns with your goals and relationships before saying yes. The person who says yes to everything says no to their own priorities. And people sense this lack of self-respect. The invisible barrier of consistency. Nothing destroys respect faster than unpredictability, not in action, but in standards. When your boundaries shift based on who's testing them, people learn to push. When your availability depends on your mood, people stop taking you seriously. When your standards only apply sometimes, people stop respecting them. The person who commands respect is consistent. Not rigid but reliable. Their boundaries are clear. What they accept and what they don't doesn't change based on circumstance or who's asking. Their quality is steady. They show up prepared. They do what they commit to. They maintain standards. Their reactions are proportionate. Similar situations get similar responses. They don't overreact sometimes and underreact other times. This consistency creates a reputation that precedes you. People know what to expect. And that predictability paradoxically makes you appear more stable and powerful than those who try to keep everyone guessing. The final element, indifference to outcome. Here's the ultimate paradox of respect. You can't get it by needing it. The more you need people to respect you, the less they will. The more you're comfortable without their respect, the more readily they offer it. This isn't about not caring what people think. It's about not needing their validation to maintain your own self-concept. In practice, when you share an idea and someone dismisses it, you don't defend or explain. You note their response and move on. Your idea's value isn't determined by their immediate reaction. When you're not included in something, you don't seek explanation or show hurt. You remain engaged with your own priorities. When someone tests you, you respond proportionately, but you're genuinely unattached to whether they get it or not. This indifference, not coldness, but genuine comfort with any outcome, is the final piece. It communicates that you're operating from internal standards rather than external validation. And internal standards are the ultimate form of power. You now understand that respect isn't earned through words or arguments. It's commanded through presence. Every behavior I've described communicates one message. I value myself appropriately, and I expect you to do the same. This isn't about domination. It's about ending subordination. It's about occupying space without apology and expecting to be treated accordingly. Starting today, notice your nonverbal patterns. Are you shrinking or expanding? Are you seeking or commanding? Are you reacting or responding? Small adjustments create cascading effects. Better posture leads to better eye contact. Better eye contact leads to better boundaries. Better boundaries lead to better respect. The person you want to become doesn't need to say anything different. They just need to be present differently. Drop this final affirmation in the comments. I command respect through presence. Your silent transformation begins now.